Are we bothering to do predictions? Is it just so that people can say you got it wrong, even though you didn't know who was playing, or
Exactly.
whether they'd have COVID restrictions placed upon them after you've made your selection?
Exactly. Thursday afternoon, 3:00, our league app. Fingers crossed I get a code, otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do. It's Wakefield Trinity versus Huddersfield as Wakefield make their home at the John Smith Stadium. With number 41, Eddie Batty, about to make his debut. It's almost as if Wakefield have turned into a team playing in the Carabao Cup in football with the squad numbers at the minute. Go on, Phil. Tell me how this one's going to go, because I don't know.
Wakefield will win. I think, again, having had a bit of time off to reset themselves, to get a new player in, I think Huddersfield at the moment are just in that horrible place whereby the coach has announced it's been announced that the coach is going back, that confidence again has been knocked by the manner of the defeat this week by a point again. I think if Wakefield can make a fast start, they'll win, but not by many.
Yeah, I'm going to concur and say Wakefield. Well, to be smart, Wakefield by 1. It's Huddersfield, isn't it? So I'll go Wakefield by 1.
The thing is, on next week's programme, we're not going to be able to talk about this game because no one will have seen it. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I know there's a deal with Sky, but when these games aren't being shown by Sky, I don't know why they can't just be put on for everyone to watch. I know it's for season ticket holders and this and that and the other, but if you're going to the expense of broadcasting a match, however many cameras the All League app uses, and the people involved, you may as well put it out there to the largest audience possible. I've been watching football on Twitch. I've been streaming on Twitch. I hope people are following us. We've got about 1 follower, I think. Real Mallorca were showing their pre-season friendlies on Twitch and getting good numbers. Now the league season started, they can't show their games for rights reasons. They stuck a camera on the bench for the whole 90 minutes. You could just watch the bench just sat there, milling around as they lost. Wakefield by 2. Eddie Batty to score on debut. Friday.
Good signing.
Yeah, it is a good signing. Friday, Challenge Cup quarter-finals. Catalans versus Salford. 6:00 kickoff in St Helens. You can go first on this one, Paul.
I'm going to go Catalans. Obviously, good recent record in the Challenge Cup. But yeah, I expect them to be warmed up now after that game against Wigan. Fired up to sort of put things right there, but also a bit more match fit, match sharp now. After those couple of weeks without playing, that was always going to affect them first up. I fancy him. I'm going to go Catalans by 7.
I'm going to go Salford on the basis of the fact that I think Ian Watson is realistic enough to look at the league table as it stands at the moment, and even with the best will in the world and even perhaps the best percentage in the world, you're not a million miles away from Wembley if you win this week. You can get to the Challenge Cup final winning 2 games. I think having got to Old Trafford last year, to get to Wembley this year would be a measure of consistency at Salford. I think they'll go all out for this. I'm going to go Salford again because they've had I think rests at this time of the season are absolutely massive. So provided they've all been training together and we don't get to hear that 3/4 of them were stood down this week, I'm going to go Salford by 6.
I think Dave would say on the telly that there could be 20,000 at the final. Fingers crossed. If
I thought you were going to say at Salford. That would be interesting.
I mean, it might end up being at Salford because there might be no one there at all.
Wembley has the capacity for 22,000. Because there is a quarter of the stadium would be allowed. The only problem is it's subject to all of these trials going ahead and being successful. So it's there, but it's tantalisingly not there as well at the moment.
So when they play at the AJ Bell Stadium then in October, because we don't have any viewers from France, I don't think Salford by 6, and that's followed also on the telly by Hull Kingston Rovers versus Leeds. Of course, a repeat of that classic final from a few years ago. Classic if you're Tom Briscoe, but not if you're Kieran Dixon. Phil, who's going to win?
I suspect that if Jordan Abdul is banned, as we think he will be, I'm pretty sure that even Hull KR are not going to appeal that because they know that it would, if they can get a downgrade, it isn't going to help him this week. I'm just going to go Leeds. I think there was a measure of disruption last week with not knowing who the team was going to be until an hour before kick-off. They've all trained, I'm told, so far this week. The three, who were earmarked to play, Pryor, Martin and Mellor will come back in. They've got a couple banned. Dwyer out is probably a bit of a blow for them. But I'm going to go Leeds by a few. But then you would expect that.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same now. If Abdul was playing, if somehow he's not been banned by the time you're listening to this, I'm going Hull KR to win because I've been really impressed with them and they're in good form. But without him, I think he's been important to the way that they've played, and also the disruption that would cause with him not being there. I'll go for Leeds by 4.
I'm trying to get on the Rugby League website, but it won't work. I don't know if I've been banned. I'll go with Leeds as well, and I'll take...
Could be a high scorer.
Yeah. Leeds by 8. No, I can't get on the Rugby League website. Kevin Nakama's appeal's been quashed or something, but that's irrelevant for the moment. But it's irrelevant now because on Saturday on BBC One prime time, St Helens versus Warrington. Go on, Paul. Who's going to win this one?
Oh, really tough call actually. This, like I said, I've been really impressed by Warrington of late. So there's part of me that has a real feeling about this one that they might be able to overturn Saints. I think I would, from a betting perspective, I'm going to play it safe and say that Saints' 100% post-lockdown record will continue. But either result, neither would surprise me this weekend. I think this could be a really, really good game, really high quality, intense game. I guess we'll see. We don't know the effect of Warrington's missing players recently and whether they're going to be back in the team, and if they are, what condition they're going to be in and how fit they're going to be in and how much they're suffering by the end of this game. I think Saints, they've been playing on a regular basis. They haven't had as much disruption. I'm going to go for them by 8.
I'm really looking forward to this. This is the game of the weekend, the game of the round. I think that not only have Saints been a quality above most other teams, I accept that Hull KR could quite easily have beaten them last week, but they always seem to have something. Saints, a player that was going to do something special in Lachlan Coote. He's playing so well that it's only that Walmsley's so good at the moment that he's barely being mentioned. I think the driving factor for this will be the Challenge Cup final last year. I think if there was one game that Saints felt they clearly were mastered, it was at Wembley. They were never in it. Warrington was so dominant. If you were going to be a St Helens player contemplating your navel in the run-up to this game, this is the opportunity to say we didn't do our best that day and we need to redress that. I admire everything about what Warrington are doing at the moment, but I just think Saints are the most well-oiled machine, and that in the big games post-Wembley, they were massive. Could play tight if you needed to, expansive if you needed to. I'm going Saints by 4, but this is a game you probably won't be able to take your eyes off for the full 80 minutes. Yeah,
it's difficult not to go with Saints, isn't it? As much as Warrington have been impressive and I want to go with them, I've got to go with the champions, and I think it should be very tight, but it should be a fantastic battle all across the field. I think that win over Hull KR will do Saints some good, as much as people say you learn more in a defeat, you learn something in a close victory as well. Saints by 1. And we close off the weekend. We switch to BBC 2, much like if you're a crap British tennis player as opposed to Andy Murray is on BBC 1. They played out one of the greatest tennis finals? One of the greatest Challenge Cup finals of all time, and one of the worst. Hull FC versus Wigan.
I just think it's probably a game too far for Hull. They did look very leggy, even though they won convincingly towards the end of the game last week. I think Wigan will come back from France with a huge amount of confidence in the dominance that they showed in all aspects of the game. I think the loss of Albert Kelly is probably going to be too much for Hull to overcome at a time when Mark Sneed's direction isn't there either. Normally when they've done really well in cup ties, it's because of Sneed's kicking game. So I'm going to go Wigan by 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hull, like as I alluded to earlier, not going to be in shape to be able to last the full 80 against Wigan here. They're going to be missing key individuals clearly. Albert Kelly, Jamie Shaw, presumably. Wigan, as I say, impressed against Catalans. Seem to have got a bit of their confidence back. For me, yeah, Wigan all day. I'll go 6-4, 6-4, 6-2, Richard.
Full house for Wigan. Setting up that potential Saints-Wigan final, of course, which would be nice. Or likely a Saints-Wigan semi-final. Wigan by 8. Yeah, Wigan by 8.
And Penrith to win the minor premiership this weekend in Australia.